Welcome back to our channel. Today is a somewhat overcast Wednesday, which honestly feels like the perfect backdrop for the absolute chaos we need to unpack from Port Charles right now. Grab a coffee, or maybe something stronger, because we have a lot of ground to cover and my brain is already spinning in a million different directions. Okay, so I've been thinking about this and I just cannot get past the logistics of this entire car crash rescue mission situation. Like, my brain is just stuck on it. Here's what's bugging me. Valentine and Carly just got back to her house after pulling off this insane rescue, right? Valentine helped Curtis pull Jordan out of that fiery wreckage on Route 91. But wait, let me back up. Carly was there too, but she was picking up Danny and Charlotte because they wrecked Charlotte's car, with Danny driving. Which, by the way, why is Danny driving? He's a kid! But anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh right, the logistics. How on earth did Valentine get back to Carly's house? I mean, really think about it. Carly picked up the kids in her car. Did she just casually toss Valentine in the back seat with two traumatized teenagers after he just dragged a bleeding police commissioner out of a burning vehicle? Or maybe not. I don't know. Did he walk? From Route 91? That's miles away! Or did he hide in the trunk? It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. And then they get back to the house, and Carly just completely goes off on him. She's fussing at him, and she drops this line that has been echoing in my head for literally hours. Is that what you've been doing here the whole time? Wait, what does she mean by that? Is she referring to him hiding out at her house? Like, is she suddenly questioning his entire motive for needing a safe house? Or is she talking about the rescue mission itself? Actually, no. First, I should mention that Carly is already stressed out of her mind because she's currently orchestrating a massive cover-up for Danny and Charlotte. She ordered Charlotte's damaged car to be repaired and sent back to her so the cops wouldn't find out they were involved, which is classic Carly, honestly. She goes straight into Mama Bear fixer mode. But the stress of that, combined with Valentine risking his WSB fugitive status to play hero on the side of the highway, I think she's just snapping. But then again, that doesn't explain why she phrased it like that, the whole time. It sounds like she suspects him of playing some long game, like he's been manipulating her. I mean, not exactly, but kind of. We know Jack Brennan is sniffing around and is on the verge of connecting the dots about Carly and Valentine's little vengeful alliance. Maybe Carly is starting to realize that harboring a Cassadine is a ticking time bomb, or maybe she's just projecting her own guilt about the Danny situation onto Valentine. I don't know. I keep changing my mind. I just feel like there is a massive shoe about to drop with Brennan, and Carly is subconsciously feeling the pressure. Okay, wait, let's pivot to the hospital because I am genuinely stressed about Jordan. Curtis and Jordan arrive with the EMTs, and it is just pure chaos. Curtis is screaming, "We need a doctor!" and he's terrified. And honestly, I don't blame him. Jordan never woke up. Valentine and Curtis had to basically function as a two-man walker to drag her away from the flames, and she was completely unresponsive, and she has this nasty gash on the side of her face. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the way the camera lingered on that head wound. I am calling it right now, traumatic brain injury, or at least a severe concussion. They wouldn't focus on it that much if it was just a scratch. But here is the thing that is driving me absolutely crazy about the hospital scene. Lucas Jones is standing at the desk. He turns around, probably to assign a trauma room, which is great, we love Lucas. But where the heck is TJ Ashford? Seriously, where is he? His mother is being wheeled into the emergency room in critical condition, completely unconscious, and her son is nowhere to be found. Is he off screen? Did he transfer to another hospital and I just completely missed it? I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there when they last mentioned his schedule. It's just so bizarre to me that they wouldn't have TJ front and center for this. And speaking of missing doctors, neither Isaiah Gannon nor Portia Robinson are available to help Jordan. Which makes sense if you actually track the timeline, because Lulu Spencer called Isaiah for a secret house call regarding Rocco's infected hand, and Isaiah was at his cabin with Portia at the time. So they are completely tied up with Rocco's medical emergency, which means Lucas is flying solo on this trauma case. And that makes me so nervous because we know Pascal is lurking around, channeling his grief over Marco Rios into a murderous plot against Lucas. What if Pascal strikes while Lucas is trying to save Jordan? Okay, I know I just said the opposite about Lucas being capable, but hear me out. If Lucas is distracted by a massive trauma code, he's a sitting duck for Pascal. My brain is just going to worst case scenarios right now. Anyway, back to the Ashford family trauma. Trina. Oh my god, poor Trina. She just finished her performance at Charlie's pub. She was so nervous, but Gio played guitar for her, and it was this really beautiful, triumphant moment. She's riding this high, and then her phone rings. It's Curtis, and he is clearly distraught. And Trina immediately jumps to the worst possible conclusion. Oh my god, is it mom? Is it the baby? I have to stop and analyze this because the psychology here is actually brilliant. Why does Trina immediately assume it's Portia and the baby? Because Stella Henry was literally just at their house talking about the family decorating the nursery. Trina's brain has been primed to focus on Portia's pregnancy. Plus, Trina is already carrying so much secret stress. She and Kai Taylor are hiding the truth about who shot Drew Kane, and Willow is snooping around, trying to keep them quiet. Trina is basically living in a state of constant anxiety, just waiting for the other shoe to drop. So when Curtis calls sounding panicked, of course her mind goes straight to a miscarriage or a pregnancy complication, when she finds out it's actually Jordan who might be dying. I don't even know how she's gonna process that. The whiplash of relief that her mom is okay, followed immediately by the terror for Jordan and Curtis. It's going to break her. Okay, wait, let me shift gears because I need to talk about something slightly less depressing, even though it's still kind of depressing if you think about it too hard. Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Palmieri. They are so cute, but I am overthinking their entire dynamic. So Gio played at the Charlie's Pub reopening, even though he really wasn't sure he wanted to perform publicly again. Emma is the one who talked him into it. She has been his rock. And to thank her, Gio invites her to New York City for the weekend. He wants to take her to see an old friend of his, Michael James Scott, which, by the way, a Broadway crossover? Yes, please, and catch some shows. It's their first trip out of town together. And Emma just smiles and says that as long as she's with him, she'll go anywhere. It's like basically the most romantic thing ever. But then again, that doesn't explain why I feel this underlying sense of dread about it. Here's what's bugging me. Gio's main motivation for this trip, besides thanking her, is to get Emma's mind off her grandma. Anna Devane is in the hospital. Doctor's orders say no visitors, and Emma is terrified she's never going to see her grandma again. Gio doesn't like seeing Emma sad, so he's whisking her away to NYC. But is that healthy? Like, are they just trauma bonding? Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a really sweet gesture from a guy who cares about her. But what if something happens to Anna while Emma is in New York? Emma would never forgive herself for leaving. I feel like this Broadway trip is going to be amazing, but there is going to be this dark cloud hanging over it. And Dante was just asking Emma for updates on Anna, so we know the police are still heavily invested in whatever is going on there. I just hope Emma actually gets to enjoy the Aladdin musical and doesn't get a tragic phone call during intermission. What was I saying? Oh, right, couples getting closer. Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken. This is another situation where I am half analyzing, half just staring at the screen in confusion. Michael and Jacinda are spending time together, and Michael tells her that he loves that he's still learning new things about her every day. He says she is full of surprises, and that's what he loves about her. Okay, full of surprises. That is such a loaded phrase on a soap opera. What surprises, Michael? What exactly are you learning? Because Jacinda is definitely a mystery. We know she listened in on Charlotte and Danny talking about Valentine being in hiding, so she is sneaky. She gathers information, and she is getting really close to Christina Corinthos Davis. In fact, Michael specifically mentions that he loves how good of friends Jacinda and Christina are becoming. Wait, let's dig into that Christina connection. Christina has been reflecting on her past a lot lately. She's been talking about Kiefer Bauer and his abuse, and she's been talking about Ethan Lovett. Ethan was so protective of her back in the day, even though he put her in the friend zone. But Ethan is coming back to Port Charles soon. Is Jacinda somehow connected to Ethan? Is that one of her surprises? Or maybe Jacinda is just a really good listener and Christina needs a friend right now. But I don't trust it. I never trust anyone who is described as full of surprises. And then there is the whole Crimson dynamic. Jacinda is apparently really good at her job at Crimson, but she clashes with Nina Reeves once in a while, which is hilarious to me. Nina is trying to run this magazine, and Jacinda is just pushing back. But Nina can't actually do anything about it. She can't fire her, because Michael is Nina's boss. The power dynamics there are just fascinating. Michael is using his position to protect his new girlfriend from his former stepmother, current nemesis. It's petty, and I kind of love it. But actually, no. Think about how this could backfire. If Jacinda really is hiding something massive, one of those surprises, and Nina finds out about it, Nina is going to use it to destroy her. Nina is just waiting for an excuse to get rid of Jacinda. If Jacinda's secrets involve Christina, or Ethan, or maybe even the WSB, because everyone seems to be connected to the WSB these days, Nina will blow the whistle, and Michael will be left looking like an idiot for trusting her. It's weird. Like, really weird. I keep looking at all these separate pieces, Carly and Valentine arguing, Jordan fighting for her life with a massive head wound, Trina panicking over a phone call, Emma running away to New York to escape her grandma's medical crisis, and Michael falling for a woman who is basically a walking question mark. It feels like the entire town is just one giant domino setup, and Brooklyn's tipsy driving was the first piece to fall. Oh god, I didn't even talk about Brooklyn? I think she caused the crash that put Jordan in the hospital. I really do. She was drinking wine, Dante called her. She rushed to Charlie's pub, and she was late. I bet she veered into Charlotte's lane, Charlotte swerved, and then Jordan swerved to avoid Charlotte. If Brooklyn realizes that her one glass of wine caused Jordan to get a traumatic brain injury and caused Charlotte and Danny to wreck a car, she is going to lose her mind, especially when she and Chase are just waiting on conditional approval to foster baby Phoebe. Willow conditionally approved them, but if Brooklyn gets arrested for a hit and run, that baby is gone. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am jumping to conclusions. I do that a lot, but the puzzle pieces are all right there. Jack Brennan is putting the puzzle pieces together about Carly and Valentine. I am putting the puzzle pieces together about Brooklyn and the crash. We are all just trying to figure out what is actually happening in Port Charles. And the scariest part is, I don't think any of these characters are ready for the truth. Carly definitely isn't ready for Brennan's wrath. Curtis isn't ready to potentially lose Jordan, and Emma certainly isn't ready to face whatever is happening with Anna. Anyway, I need to stop rambling. My brain is officially fried. I'm gonna be up all night thinking about Jordan's head wound and trying to map out Route 91 on a piece of scrap paper to see if Valentine could have realistically walked back to Carly's house. It probably doesn't matter, but I just can't let it go.